Hello, everyone. Welcome to Daily Invocation Souls Check-in. We are
back at our beloved Finca de Vida, which means farm of life. Yes, we are still in Costa Rica. If you've been with us for a while, you know that this is our favorite place in Costa Rica with our friends Jody and Brian, who own the farm.
We arrived yesterday and we're settling in and enjoying tremendously. Delicious.
Yes. Unlimited coconuts and fruit, and there's something just magical about this land. For us anyway, it just really calls to our hearts and is a very, very healing land in and of itself, plus the intention that they have built into it for the last 12 years. So we are so grateful we found it. Thank you, GPE, for our mutual friend, for letting us know about it. And also, for me, I get to enjoy the animal sounds and the plants a lot more here than other places. We're deeper in the jungle. So, all right.
Great place to start the invocation. Bringing in the sacredness of land. All land. Mother Earth, Gaia, right? And the different flavors. You can see and feel in and invoke the land behind us, the sacredly infused land here, like Crunadero was saying, and enjoying the different flavors of everywhere, bringing them in and feeling the support and strength.
We have some rocks here, so we also call in the rock planets and dimensions. And like I mentioned, there are a lot of insects and life cycle that you just get to see happen right before your eyes. There are 3 dogs on the land as well, so calling in the animal kingdom, the multidimensional beings, the parts of us that are multidimensional, the parts of us that connect with each and every other one of these kingdoms.
So today we wanted to invoke and check in with the power of signing up, committing, enrolling, all of the above, saying yes, and the deeper plugging into invoking the deeper possibilities there. And when I say possibilities, I mean our mutual experience and what we've heard over and over and over is that healing begins when you sign up. Whatever the modality you do, whatever you do, the power of saying yes, putting down your credit card, registering, the work starts then. On the deepest, let's start at the deepest, highest metaphysical, and then we'll get a great real life example. But the deepest, highest metaphysical is there is an actual shift. The universe responds. I think we can all agree this is a responsive universe. And so when you say yes, that sets in motion a whole bunch of shifts and changes.
Hi, Bonnie.
And the universe is going to say yes to you.
Sorry. Okay. We're just saying hello to our friends.
And thank you, friends, for saying yes to coming to our daily invocation souls check-in today.
Thank you for always joining us.
So yeah, let's invoke that, because if you review your life, you can probably remember what it was like. Just the feeling of saying yes to committing to therapy or committing to a program, or for our entrepreneur friends saying yes to the business, and whatever steps that happen. This is broad. This week we're really talking and focusing on healing, so we'll limit
how to get
to
the
that.
Most out of your
how to
healing
maximize
work.
your healing work.
So I will share a story. Very early on in my journey, I was very new to the spiritual path, this whole idea of manifesting. I don't even know that I had heard this phrase or this, thought behind the moment you sign up or even commit, because my commitment, as you will hear shortly, was internal. So I was doing external things too. I'll just tell you the story, but there's a powerful inner force that commits, and then oftentimes the universe will start to bring to you. So the shift can be things coming up to the surface. So for example, for Trauma to Triumph, it might mean that things get a little heavier right before the program actually begins, because you're starting the work the moment you say yes. So that's one way of shift, that the shift will show up. Another way is that everything starts to work to support the work. So people might start to show up that are also dealing with trauma, for example, or success cases that you're just like, wow, if they can heal, so can I. And many other ways that it can show up. So for me, it was a Bob Proctor cruise. So if you saw The Secret, I saw it too. I was at my lowest when I was actually 21 years old, and I saw a rerun of Oprah. I heard the Reverend speak, Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, and I was like, where are these people? I need to go find them right now. No one around me speaks like this. So a few months later, year later, I don't quite remember, I saw that Bob Proctor had a cruise, and I was an hourly wage worker, 21. I worked at a dealership that I had worked at in high school. So I didn't make a lot of money, but I was committed to going on this cruise. I cut out the photo and put it in my cube, and I would think about it from time to time. But to be honest, I wasn't hardcore in really believing that it was going to become true. Registration had closed, etc. I still didn't have the money for the ticket, but the one action I took was they offered, the cheapest way to get on the cruise was to share a room. I didn't have friends that were going, but they started an email list that meant anyone who wanted a shared cabin could get on, could find each other, basically, right? It was like a matching device. And I kind of forgot I had even signed up. And at some point, I read one of the emails, and there was a woman. So again, registration had closed, but these emails were still going for some reason. And she could no longer attend. She had paid for her ticket in full. It was a shared cabin. And so they told her she couldn't get a refund, but she could transfer it to someone and hope that basically sell her ticket, right? That was the only way she could get her money back, because it was like 2 weeks away or something. So I wrote to her, and I don't know why, like my intuition at the time was not as strong as it is now, but it was there. And I felt like I wanted to mention that I was a Latina woman. And so I did, and it was a brief message. And soon thereafter, within 48 hours, she responded and said that she was about to give the ticket to someone else, but she was Latina herself. And for her, it would mean a lot to turn this ticket over to a young Latina like me. So beyond that, then I got this idea. I was like, well, I still don't have the $2,000, whatever it was so much for me at the time. But I knew that I had a steady income. So I said, well, thank you so much, et cetera, et cetera. And I really felt like I was pushing it here, but I did it anyway. I asked anyway. And I said, could I send you 4 checks so that I could make payments? And because she was in abundance already, she didn't even blink twice. She said, absolutely, no problem, whatever you need. And so I mailed her the 4 checks, and I made it on the cruise, and it was phenomenal. I met people from all over the world. I don't think it was my first cruise, but maybe my second. It was definitely the first one by myself, with people that were talking about growth and spirituality and making things happen for themselves and self-belief. And it just exploded my eyes open. So that's the power of committing.
So speaking of committing, a big invite too. Tomorrow, first Saturday of the month, is Amos, a meeting of souls.
It is not $2,000. It is not on a cruise ship. It's by donation.
It's an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half, and you join from home.
And we would love to hear your stories of what happened when you signed up. and said yes to any healing modality.
Yeah.
So yeah, please think about those and come bring them to Amos tomorrow.
And we'd also love to hear about what comes up before you say yes, because sometimes, actually, not just sometimes, a lot of the time, we let those fears keep us stuck and in the no and in the not deserving, not asking. That story could have gone way differently had I gotten stuck in everything that comes up before committing, because a lot will come up.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Much love.
See you mañana.